And welcome into another episode of Dan D'Antoni Sports. My name is Dan Snyder, joined tonight for the moment by Dan O'Shea and Dan Beebe. As of right now, guys, we are the 3-Dan band again. Tony may be joining us, depending on how long this episode takes. But gentlemen, how are you guys doing tonight?
Not bad. Oh, I'm okay. Rangers are concerning me, given firings and whatnot. And I'm putting the game on in the background as we speak.
They are officially eliminated,
Wilson
though.
Gets his face torn off.
They are officially eliminated. Don't worry. The Stars are probably going to be eliminated tonight after they probably lose to the Lightning. So, other than that, the A's are doing well. The Knicks are doing well, surprisingly well. They're the number one defense. If I'd asked you 3 years ago, do you think the Knicks in the next 10 years would ever have the number one defense in the NBA? Your answer would be, they don't even have the best defense in college basketball.
I mean, if you're going to say in 10 years, I'd say maybe, but in just a couple years, I definitely didn't see it coming.
It's crazy.
High school, especially after just last year, you know?
Yeah, it's completely flipped the script. I mean, last year I hated the RJ Barrett pick. It looks like he's matured really well. Reggie Bullock has stepped up.
Good.
Yep, you were right.
We disagreed on that one.
Yep, you were right. Reggie Bullock has stepped up. Julius Randle's playing like an MVP right now. Derrick Rose coming back to the Knicks was confusing in the beginning. He played well off the bench, coming back from having not played for a little bit, getting injured and whatnot. Then they put him in the starting lineup, and he didn't play as well. He's back on the bench, and he's playing like sixth man of the year. So that's a little confusing how that happens. But Jamal Crawford was the same way. Lou Williams is the same way. Who else? Isaiah Quickly is looking pretty good. Obi Toppin, he's not getting the stats, but when you watch the defensive highlights, he is causing problems for teams. When Mitchell Robinson was healthy, he was causing problems. Taj Gibson's looking 5 to 7 years younger, so.
Taj has been solid. You gotta love what Nerlens Noel is doing in the absence of Mitchell Robinson. And then he got hurt, so against the Grizzlies, it was just Taj and then Pell, who we brought up
from a 7-day contract or a 10-day or whatever it is, and they made him a full timer, right?
Yeah. I think we signed him for 2 years, and then we just signed some point guard from Argentina. I've been looking into him since the announcement today.
A foreign player named Luka. Let's hope.
Yeah, let's hope he's the best Luka yet. He looks pretty impressive. He looks like he can shoot from anywhere. He looks like he's quick enough to play good defense. Haven't seen superb passing from him as a point guard, so that's the only thing I'd like to see more of. I think the Knicks to be an actual contender really need
Damian Lillard,
supremely gifted passer at point guard, because so many of these guys now can shoot. So if we can just get someone that can really set things up and be that floor general with the beautiful passing, then this is a scary team.
Let me just float this out there, and this is the last thing I want to talk about the Knicks, really, because I want to get into the draft and the mock draft. The rumor very heavily is that Lonzo Ball is coming to the Knicks in the offseason. Does Lonzo Ball, a very good passer, guy who takes smart shots, plays well defensively, does he help the Knicks take that next step, or is he just a lateral step until we get the guy?
I think he could. He is a very good passer. I think he's probably close to the best free agent point guard this offseason. think he's elite. I think he's solid, but we might not need elite. We might just need, an upgrade from Elfrid Payton. Derrick Rose has been playing out of his mind, but he's
more of a shooting guard.
Yes and no. I think he's pretty great at passing now. I think he's worked on that a lot, but I don't think he's getting a little old to be playing 40-something minutes like Thibodeau loves to play his starters. So
and with his injury history,
I'd love D Rose to just be coming off the bench and just be providing a spark on the bench and giving whoever their second point guard is some nightmares. Because he's been able to find everybody and help them score. He looks good with Quickly, he looks good with Toppin, he looks good with all the bench guys. So I think we just need someone that's better than Elfrid freaking Payton.
Yeah.
And I think Lonzo fits that. I think he'll play better defense with Thibs because that's just what everybody does. So I'd feel good about it. I wanted Drew Holiday, but he got extended by the Bucks. So
yeah, and also I lied. That wasn't the last thing. I forgot to mention Frank Ntilikina. His offense is still bad, but you can see watching. I don't really get to watch the games because I have YouTube TV, which doesn't have MSG, so I only get to watch the 2 games that are on ESPN or whatever. So you can see in the highlights that when someone thinks they got an open shot, Frank Ntilikina is near them, they're scared to shoot. His defense really, scares them. So that's good to see the number one defense that at least he can contribute to something because his offense just it's not what it should be. But anyways.
Yeah. And honestly, we were so weak at guard and we're getting pretty solid there, especially with another free agent signing in the offseason that I just think he's gonna be somewhere else next year. I think he's a great defender. I was rooting for him. He did start turning around some 3-point shooting. He was looking okay there, but just not doing enough in his minutes and just too hesitant on the offensive side. You need to be able to attack, and he just really never found that.
I mean, if you're not gonna shoot, at least be able to get people open, pass people open, get assists. He's just like a purely defensive player. Like he should be playing corner or safety or something. But let's switch now from the Knicks over to the NFL draft, guys. The NFL draft was this past Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We did our little mock, and that was Wednesday, and the Wednesday before we did the first 16, and then on what was the date? The 27th and the 20th. April 20th, April 27th are the 2 days we did our mock draft. Let's just go through pick by pick. We'll start with who we thought was going to get picked and who actually got picked. And then I just want to touch on these a little bit. Next week, I want to get more in depth in the picking or the draft picks. So we'll do something like one of us will take the AFC and NFC East, talk about their draft class, and then break it down and all that. Or we can split it up: NFC 1 week, AFC the next. We'll figure that out in a couple of days how we're going to do that. But this isn't meant to be just a breakdown and praise of how they were drafted, just how did we do as opposed to how or what players were drafted. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right. So Dan Beebe, you had the first overall pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars. For them, you selected Trevor Lawrence. The Jacksonville Jaguars selected Trevor Lawrence. We got that one correct.
I mean, shock.
It takes a certain, skill to get these right.
It sure does. It sure does. Now we're going to move on to Dan O'Shea. with the second pick, you had the Jets, you homer you, and you drafted Zach Wilson. The New York Jets drafted Zach Wilson. You got that correct. All right.
My genius is sometimes frightening.
It definitely is. The third pick was me. I had the San Francisco 49ers. I drafted for the 49ers Mac Jones. Literally because every mock draft had Mac Jones. The 49ers had been tweeting that they wanted Mac Jones and all of that. And so with the third pick in the draft, the San Francisco 49ers drafted Trey Lance. So I did not get my first pick correct. That moves us on to pick number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. Tony selected for the Falcons Kyle Pitts. The Falcons actually selected Kyle Pitts. So I'm the only one in the first 4 that did not get a pick correct. But I make up for it because I get 2 later on that are correct, and you guys, that's the last one you guys get correct. So
Niners was a little bit of a shocker that they went with Trey Lance over who we thought would be either Mac Jones or Fields. They like his upside. I can't blame him for that. I don't know if I would have traded up to number 3 for it, but I guess we'll see. I'm certainly not an NFL scout, so I could easily be wrong.
That is correct. You are not an NFL scout. If you were, you'd be hooking us up. So we're gonna move on. Pick number 5, Dan Beebe. You had the Cincinnati Bengals. You drafted Devontae Smith. With the 5th pick, the Bengals selected Jamar Chase, who was by far the best wide receiver in the draft. I said last year, if I had the number 1 overall pick, I don't care what team I am, it's going to either be Jamar Chase or Penei Sewell. So, Jamar Chase going 5th overall. Kind of a shame because he's just so damn good. But there are so many teams that needed quarterbacks, including the Falcons, who drafted a tight end. Whatever. But yeah, Jamar Chase to the Cincinnati Bengals. You know that Joe Burrow definitely had a heavy influence in that. Number 6, the Miami Dolphins selected. We had the Dolphins, Dan O'Shea, you did, picking Jamar Chase. They selected the Alabama wide receiver, Jalen Waddle. Kind of a shocker that Waddle went before Devontae Smith. But Dolphins fans hate it. I've been seeing so many Dolphins fans who hate the Jalen Waddle draft, the draft pick